Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Shannon here. Have you ever felt like you're just constantly reacting to life? Like your to-do list is a monster that just keeps growing, no matter how many things you check off? I have been there, believe me. It can feel overwhelming, like you're stuck on a hamster wheel, running faster and faster but not actually getting anywhere. What if I told you that the secret to taking back control, to feeling more purposeful and less pulled in a million directions, isn't some complex 1,000-page productivity system? What if it's actually a few simple, memorable rules that can act as your North Star? These aren't rigid, unbreakable laws, but rather powerful frameworks to guide your time, your decisions, and your personal growth. Think of them as mental shortcuts to a more balanced and intentional life. They help you cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. In a world that's constantly demanding more from us, having these simple principles in your back pocket is like having a superpower. They can help you reclaim your energy, make choices with confidence, and build a life that feels authentic to you, not one that's dictated by external pressures or endless obligations. So, if you're ready to stop reacting and start architecting a life you love, you are in the right place. In today's video, we are going to dive deep into 4 incredibly powerful yet beautifully simple life structuring rules. We'll break down the famous 8+8+8 rule for work-life harmony, the 3F rule for decisive action, the 3S rule for effective communication and discipline, and finally, the 3H rule for authentic leadership and character. Grab a notebook, get comfy, and let's get into it. Alright, let's kick things off with a classic, the 8+8+8 rule. This one is so foundational because it tackles the one resource we can never get more of, time. The concept is brilliantly simple. Your 24-hour day is divided into 3 equal 8-hour blocks. The first block is for work, your job, your business, your primary hustle. This is where you dedicate your focused energy to your professional responsibilities and goals. It's about being productive, creating value, and earning your living. The key here is that it's a defined container. It's not work seeping into every waking moment of your life, which is a trap so many of us fall into. The second 8-hour block is dedicated to sleep. Yes, a full 8 hours. In our hustle-harder culture, sleep is often the first thing to be sacrificed, seen as a luxury rather than the non-negotiable biological necessity it is. But let me tell you, skimping on sleep is like trying to run a marathon on an empty tank. It sabotages your health, your mood, your creativity, and your productivity for the next day. Honoring this 8-hour block for rest and rejuvenation isn't lazy. It is the single most productive thing you can do to ensure you show up as your best self in all other areas of your life. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Now for the third and arguably most exciting 8-hour block, personal time. This is your time. It's for everything that makes you, you. This is where you connect with family and friends, pursue hobbies that light you up, cook a nourishing meal, exercise your body, read a book, learn a new skill, or simply do nothing at all. This is the life part of work-life balance. This is the time for passion, play, and personal care. It's so easy to let this block get squeezed out by work obligations or sheer exhaustion, but protecting it fiercely is how you avoid burnout and cultivate a life that is truly rich and fulfilling beyond your professional achievements. Of course, I know what some of you might be thinking. Shannon, my life doesn't fit into these neat little boxes. And you are absolutely right. The 8+8+8 rule isn't meant to be a rigid, minute-by-minute mandate that you have to follow perfectly every single day. Life is messy. Some days you'll have to work longer and some nights you might get less sleep. The real power of this rule is as a diagnostic tool. It's a starting point for reflection. Look at your typical day. Are your blocks wildly out of whack? Are you working 12 hours and only leaving 4 for sleep and personal life combined? This rule gives you a clear, simple ideal to aim for and helps you consciously design a schedule that honors all the essential parts of being a healthy, happy human. Next up, we have the 3F rule, and this one is a chameleon because it shows up in so many different contexts, but it's always about providing clarity in a moment of decision. The most common interpretation, especially when it comes to dealing with conflict or challenging situations, is fight, flee, or forgive. It's a step beyond the primal fight or flight instinct because it adds a third, more evolved option. When you're faced with a difficult person or a frustrating obstacle, you can choose to fight, to stand your ground, confront the issue head-on, and advocate for yourself or a better outcome. This requires courage and a clear sense of what you're fighting for. The second option is to flee. This doesn't necessarily mean physically running away, although sometimes it might. More often, it means strategically removing yourself from a toxic situation, a dead-end job, or an unhealthy relationship. Fleeing isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of self-preservation. It's recognizing that some battles are not worth your energy, and that your peace is more valuable than winning a pointless argument. It's about knowing when to cut your losses and redirect your precious resources towards something more positive and productive. Choosing to flee is a powerful assertion of your boundaries and your worth. But the third option, forgive, is often the most transformative. This is for situations where fighting is pointless and fleeing isn't possible or desirable, like with a family member you love or a past mistake that's haunting you. Forgiveness isn't about condoning bad behavior or letting someone off the hook. It's about releasing the grip that anger and resentment have on you. It's a conscious choice to let go of the emotional baggage so that you can move forward with your life, lighter and freer. It's an act of profound strength and self-love that allows you to reclaim your inner peace and emotional energy. And like I said, this rule is a multitasker. In the world of business and marketing, you'll hear the 3F rule as friends, family, and fools. This is a classic launch strategy. First, you sell your new product or idea to your friends who support you, then to your family who loves you, and then to fools, meaning the wider market of strangers who will buy it based on its merit alone. It's a phased approach to building momentum. And you'll see other variations too, like faith, family, finance as a guide for life priorities, or even the emergency preparedness mantra of fire, flood, famine. The core idea is always the same, simplifying a complex choice into 3 distinct, memorable paths. Let's move on to the 3S rule, another versatile framework that champions the power of simplicity and momentum. One of its most practical and honestly life-saving applications is the 3-second rule in driving. I'm sure you've heard this one before. When the car in front of you passes a fixed object, like a sign or a tree, you should be able to count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000 before your car passes the same object. It's a simple, memorable heuristic that ensures you're maintaining a safe following distance, giving you enough time to react in an emergency. It's a perfect example of how a simple rule can prevent a massive, complicated problem. But the 3S rule extends far beyond the highway. In the world of public speaking, presentations, and even writing, the rule is short, simple, and strong. Think about the most impactful speeches or messages you've ever heard. They probably weren't filled with jargon and convoluted sentences. They were clear and to the point. Short means respecting your audience's time and attention span. Simple means using clear language that everyone can understand, avoiding unnecessary complexity. And strong means delivering your message with conviction and a powerful core idea. Following this rule forces you to distill your thoughts into their most potent form, making your communication infinitely more effective and memorable. Now, let's talk about how the 3S rule applies to self-discipline and achieving your goals. In this context, the rule becomes start, stay, and succeed. This breaks down the often daunting journey of achievement into manageable phases. The first and often hardest part is to simply start. To overcome procrastination and take that first step, no matter how small. Just get the ball rolling. Once you've started, the next challenge is to stay the course. This is about building consistency and discipline, showing up even on the days you don't feel like it. It's about staying committed to the process when the initial excitement wears off. And finally, if you can start and you can stay, you will inevitably succeed. Success in this framework isn't some far-off magical destination. It's the natural outcome of the first 2 steps. It's the result of consistent, focused action over time. This 3S framework demystifies the process of achievement. It reminds you that you don't have to have it all figured out from the beginning. You just need to focus on the step right in front of you. Start. Then when you're moving, focus on the next one. Stay. Success will be the destination you arrive at by following that simple, powerful path. Our final rule for today is the 3H rule, and this one really gets to the heart of who we are as people. The most well-known interpretation is head, heart, and hands. This is often used as a model for holistic development, leadership, and building character. The head represents our knowledge, our intellect, our ability to think critically and solve problems. It's about what we know and the ideas we have. It's the strategic, logical part of ourselves. A good leader, for example, needs a sharp mind to analyze situations and make sound judgments. The heart represents our passion, our empathy, our values, and our emotional intelligence. It's the why behind what we do. It's our ability to connect with others, to feel compassion, and to lead with integrity. A leader with only a head might be brilliant, but without a heart, they can come across as cold, calculating, and uninspiring. The heart is what allows us to build trust, motivate others, and create a positive culture. It's the part of us that asks not just what can we do, but what should we do? And the third H, hands, represents our actions. It's our ability to execute, to do the work, to turn our ideas and our values into tangible results. It's about application, skill, and service. You can have the most brilliant ideas, head, and the purest intentions, heart. But without the hands to put them into practice, they remain just that, ideas and intentions. The hands are what make things happen in the real world. A truly whole and effective person, or a great leader, integrates all three. They think clearly, feel deeply, and act decisively. Just like our other rules, the 3H framework has other useful applications. In first aid, you might hear the priorities as head, heart, and health, checking for head injuries, ensuring the heart is beating, and addressing overall health. In the context of ethical living or building a strong work ethic, you might encounter it as humility, honesty, and hard work. Humility to learn, honesty to be trustworthy, and hard work to get the job done. No matter the specific words, the 3H rule consistently points us toward a more integrated, well-rounded, and authentic way of being, reminding us to engage our intellect, our emotions, and our actions in everything we do. Wow, we covered a lot of ground today. From balancing our 24 hours with the 8+8+8 rule, to making clear decisions with the 3F rule, to communicating effectively with the 3S rule, and building character with the 3H rule. It's amazing how these simple frameworks can bring so much clarity to the beautiful complexity of life. These aren't about restricting you, they're about liberating you. They are tools to help you become more conscious and intentional about how you spend your time, energy, and focus so you can build a life that truly feels like your own. Now, I would love to hear from you. This is a conversation, and your wisdom is a huge part of this community. Which one of these rules resonated with you the most today? Is it the 8+8+8 rule that's making you rethink your daily schedule? Or maybe the fight, flee, forgive framework gave you a new perspective on a tough situation you're facing? Jump into the comments below and let me know. And hey, if you've heard of other cool interpretations of these rules, or have other simple life rules that you live by, please share them. We can all learn from each other. And remember, knowing the rule is one thing, but applying it is where the magic happens. If you're feeling a little stuck on how to integrate one of these principles into your own unique life, don't hesitate to ask. Comment with your specific situation, and I'll do my best to offer some guidance and help you brainstorm. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you found this video helpful, you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next conversation. Until next time, stay curious and keep building a life you love.